Hello everyone and welcome to another casual review. We're moving right along with Mega Man 2. This is considered by many fans to be the best Mega Man game. I don't know if I can agree with that or not because it's been so long since I've played through these games, but I can definitively say that Mega Man 2 is better than Mega Man 1. So let's get right into the plot. Basically, after the events of the first Mega Man, where Mega Man captured Dr. Wily and put him in prison, I guess he broke out somehow and developed 8 evil robot masters to defeat Mega Man as a revenge. So yes, you heard me correctly. Rather than the 6 bosses we had last time, we get 8 bosses and levels this time. You still get to choose the order that you want to play through them, and there still is a correct order because certain abilities are better against certain bosses. And I feel like this game especially, if you have the super effective ability, they will absolutely annihilate some of these bosses. Like, sometimes all it takes is maybe like 2 or 3 hits and they're gone. It is so easy as long as you have the correct ability. It just seems more generous overall in terms of difficulty. Probably one of the easier Mega Man games. Random enemies just drop so many healing items and items that will refill your abilities. And this is the first implementation of E-Tanks, and E-Tanks are essentially like potions to heal you up if you're getting low in health. I definitely found myself rewinding a lot less in this game than I did in the first game, but there still are some retro gaming shenanigans going on here. So yes, I still abused it quite a lot, probably more than I even needed to. Another cool thing about this game that they added is, I don't know if it's only when you defeat certain levels or if it's a certain amount of levels, but Dr. Light, your creator, will give you new abilities as well. They are mainly used for platforming, like there's one that's a jet that's you can ride, or there's a hovering platform that will slowly rise up, and then there's one that bounces along the floor. So it's just an extra thing to get excited about. We still don't have Rush the Dog yet. I'm not sure which game he is introduced in, so these kind of act like a proto-Rush. If you have no idea what I'm talking about, you just stay tuned for future Mega Man games. I have noticed while visually Mega Man looks similar, there's a lot more going on visually in the background. Like, let's say you go to Metal Man's level and there's a ton of gears turning, and just visually a lot more exciting to look at. Bubble Man's level, you're just playing in front of a giant waterfall, which is pretty cool. My favorite music track and level are probably the same for this game. It would be Crash Man's. My least favorite level, I didn't talk about this in the first one, but in this game, my least favorite level is probably Quick Man's, because there are a lot of rooms where you have to hurry and exit the room before these laser beams hit you, and it is an insta-death, and quite frustrating. Like I said, this game still has its fair share of frustrating moments, and that's when the rewind feature comes in handy. I remember playing through this legitimately years ago and just being so stuck at Quick Man's level. The abilities that I tended to use more often than others would be the bubble one that just kind of rides along the bottom of the floor, and it's good to get enemies that are below you. And then Airman shoots 3 tornadoes that fly upward, so that gives you your vertical attacks that I find Mega Man needs so often because his little pea shooter only shoots horizontally, and it's hard to line up your shot without putting yourself at risk of getting hurt. Crash Man's ability, however, does a ton of damage as well, and this is kind of one of my gripes, is there are certain enemies that can only get hit by Crash Man's abilities, and you only have a certain amount of these shots before they are depleted, and you have to get an item to refill up these abilities. Well, there's a boss that's near the end of the game, and they can only be hurt by Crash Man's shots, and you can't waste a single shot, otherwise you pretty much just have to die and go back and destroy a bunch of random enemies to refill up that ability. If you've played this game before, you know exactly which boss I'm talking about. Overall, I definitely think it was a better game than Mega Man 1. I have to say that. That's probably the reason everyone talks about Mega Man 2. I still think there's some nonsense going on here, but I think it's a fun game. I would have to give this game a 3 out of 5. We haven't quite reached Mega Man 0 level in terms of gameplay here, but I still really had a fun time, and I'm excited to hop right into Mega Man 3. So tune in next time. Let me know if you have any questions or comments about Mega Man 2 or the Mega Man series in general, and I'd love to hear what you have to say. Otherwise, I'll talk to you later. Bye!